This is the start of my trip to the farthest moon of Endor, where I can talk about some Star Wars and all that good fun stuff, and reminisce one of my favorite films, Return of the Jedi. It's cold. Yeah, it's windy, it's cold. Not used to this weather. I'm used to a desert landscape. Heat, dry heat, all that good fun stuff. This is cool. I'm looking for an Ewok. The size of these trees. Oh my God. That's just cool. It's like I need a speeder bike. Being here, my Star Wars geekiness is coming out. So this isn't the actual filming location for Return of the Jedi, but this is as close as I'm gonna get to the Redwood National Forest with these beautiful, majestic redwood trees. Just incredible, just simply incredible. Yeah, I wanted to. This was on my to-do list here, and this is cool. The Canopy View Trail. Yeah, I'm craving a speeder bike, and I'm looking for the Ewok. I haven't wasted any time. I'm already off the trail. I'm looking for the aggressiveness. I'm looking. Oh man, I'm out of breath already. Whew. Holy, this is gorgeous out here. Is that an Ewok? Pretty sure that was an Ewok battle cry. Oh. So the anniversary for Return of the Jedi is in 2023, so I wasn't that shocked that they teased a Endor speeder bike. Only makes sense. They already have the mold. They built the mold, the speeder bike off of the Mandalorian. So I think a lot of collectors in the community are going to wait for the Endor one and may have passed up on the Mandalorian speeder bike for it. I'll look forward to it. I really do. I do have a wish list, though. I do have a wish list. I really wish that Hot Toys would take the stab at making a intricate 1/6 scale Jabba the Hutt. I think it would sell. I think the market is perfect. I would recommend they take the tent pole effect, take advantage of the anniversary. I think they did a piss poor job on the Empire Strikes Back's anniversary. They missed out on announcing Luke, Bespin Luke. And I don't want to see them miss the opportunity to be profitable, to make something based off of Return the Jedi. Oh, look at this view. So, yeah, I would say I would say Jabba the Hutt. They have the speeder bike. It's not going to cost them very much. They already have the R&D for the mold. Ewoks. Plain and simple. Give us some Ewoks. Give us some Endor stormtroopers. We're going through a big stormtrooper phase. I love it. Give me stormtroopers. Give me an Endor stormtrooper with some Ewok battle damage. More Ewoks. Give me more Ewoks, damn it. Please. Don't just start, don't Don't just stop at Wicket. We already have a Luke, right? We have Endor Luke already. We have Endor Leia already. Han Solo. Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Hot Toys. Come on, what is the story? Oh, I would go after a Han Solo, Endor, with the fatigues and the camo trench coat. I think that would sell. If we don't get teased, if we don't get a tease off of the, if we don't get a tease off of a Han Solo by next year's Comic-Con, I don't think we're gonna get one. I know that there are subtle changes with the Darth Vader from Return the Jedi. Bring him out. Why not? Return the Jedi, Vader. I think the biggest issue with a Return of the Jedi Vader is how it's going to be done. How would you do a Return of the Jedi Vader? Well, the collectors are going to want a head sculpt, right? So which actor would you choose? Would you use a Hayden Christensen, or would you use the classic trilogy with the actor that was used at the time? That's important. That's important because that can make or break your figure. Most collectors who are doing Star Wars right now only probably need one Vader. So if you want us to buy a duplicate Vader in a already saturated market, we have tons of Mandalorians, and the Boba Fett's are starting to multiply because they've been exposed to water. It's tricky. It's tricky because a Return of the Jedi Vader, if not done right, could sit for a while. And I can understand why Hot Toys would have reservations on it. Would you want Hayden Christensen's head on it, or the actor? I'm very classic trilogy. I would want the original actor. I forgot his name. And I would want, to recreate Luke. I want to see you with my own eyes. It's going to look friggin' hokey with Hayden Christensen. It just says that scene works better with an old crusty old white dude. It just works better. I don't know if it's going to be believable with a Hayden Christensen head sculpt. I just don't. I don't think it's going to work. So I would understand that. I would definitely understand how to go about that. We already have a Emperor Palpatine that was released. That, mind you, need I remind you, did sit on the shelves for Sideshow for a very long time. I see the rumblings in the community. Oh, a reissue, a reissue. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Hot Toys would do that. I don't know how that would work. I don't know what would justify a reissue of the Emperor and his throne. Now, the Emperor was released in a 2-pack, right? With the throne and without the throne. I'm hoping I'm right on this. So maybe they will reissue a non-deluxe version of Palpatine. I can probably see that. I don't know if they're going to want to redo the whole chair bit because I don't know if they were very profitable with that. I don't. The whole situation could have been, like I said, a lot of collectors had joined during 2020, and it could. By then, the Palpatine was already sold out, so it wasn't something that they could have possibly. Maybe it was during 2020 that it finally was able to sell. Because I remember the Palpatine Deluxe just sat for a while, so that's where speculation becomes an issue. I gotta pull out an Ewok. This is nice out here. There was no way I was going to travel to the forest moon of Endor and not bring a Hot Toys, a souvenir to christen the occasion. Say hello to a Wicket. Absolutely, there he is. Say hello. Come on now. Not gonna make it all this way to the redwood forest and not bring something to christen the occasion. I don't see why not. All right, so that's my thoughts on Vader. It's gonna be tricky. I would prefer the classic actor over Hayden Christian, but it wouldn't stop me from buying it because it's Return the Jedi, and Return the Jedi is one of my favorite movies. I've always said it, and I'll say it again on this this vlog. I love Star Wars, but I don't trust Star Wars. And when I say I don't trust Star Wars, I don't trust the merchandising aspects of the manufacturers. I don't trust how Hasbro has managed the line, and I absolutely do not trust the way Hot Toys is managing this line, because they're focusing all their efforts on the Mandalorian while neglecting other lines of the IP. I get it. Mandalorian is hot. It's a business. It's all about making money. I understand. But take advantage of your hardcore fans. And I'm going to tell you right now, Return of the Jedi is going to be the best opportunity to do so. If I'm building my wish list, right, I'm going to go all out, right? Because there's a lot of characters in Return of the Jedi that I adore. So, Forest Moon of Endor. C-3PO. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what the problem is with Hot Toys, why they haven't taken a leap of faith in making a C-3PO. But I can tell you right now, C-3PO from Return the Jedi in the chair with more Ewoks, for me, would be a game changer. Give us the chief, right? Give us the Ewok chief. And with C-3PO in the chair, it's a home run, right? It's a home run. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, Danoby, why start off with Return of the Jedi? Why not with A New Hope? Why not with a New Hope C-3PO? Well, that ship has sailed, right? It's all about tent poling. It's all about taking advantage of the situation. It's all about marketing and taking advantage of those marketing dollars. All right, hear me out, right? You're probably, New Hope C-3PO. Use the kinetic energy from Return the Jedi so that you can have the R&D for the actual droid. It doesn't make any sense. C-3PO is one of those characters like the Stormtrooper, where once you invest in the R&D, you can have different rainbow colored versions. You can have a gray version, you can have a chrome version, you can have a flat matte version of C-3PO. I mean, you can have so many versions of C-3PO. I've said this before in a couple live streams. I think C-3PO in itself is a challenging character, just because Tamashii Nations did such a phenomenal job with the Chogogan version diecast. They did such a great job with that, and it sat. I remember it sat for a couple years on the secondary market, where up until, because I remember I pre-ordered. It was one of the things I had pre-ordered when I had started collecting Hot Toys, and it just, I think it retailed for $400 at the time. This is like 2013, 2014. And I was impressed by it. I did a video on it early on in my channel's history. And how do you go up against that? I mean, I guess you have the Sideshow version, which is plastic. More of an, I think, an inferior product. But they've re-released it a couple times. Now, I don't want to hear it. Oh, C-3PO will sell. C-3PO will sell. I lean towards the side of Hot Toys on the marketability of C-3PO. I think You need the right character for C3. You need the right version of C3PO to sell, because he will run into the risk of sitting. He'll become a peg warmer. Yeah. He'll become a peg warmer because a lot of us in the Star Wars community have already moved forward with the sideshow version as a placeholder. Ooh, this trail's kicking my butt. So, releasing a C3PO now in an already saturated Hot Toys pre-order market. At the time of this vlog, we have 40 plus. we have 40 plus, dude. Let me see here. We have 40 plus Star Wars pre-orders incoming to the US, and announcing a C3PO, the wrong C3PO that's not lovable, that's not likable, can sit. Simply because if most hot toy collectors already have a sideshow C3PO as a placeholder, and they're getting bombarded with Attack of the Boba Fett's, you're not going to put a Hot Toys C3PO as your top priority. I do. That's how I feel. So it has to be special. You have to make a C3PO dazzle. You're gonna have to give him a set. You're gonna have to give him a diorama. You're gonna have to go hard. And this is me lobbying for a Return the Jedi C3PO with the chair. He's seen as a deity by Ewoks, because that'll get people. Because as collectors, we're like, oh, well, they'll make another C3PO. Yes, because they've invested the R&D into the mold in the same manner as they did with the speeder bike, right? And, oh, it's hot out here. I'm starting to break a sweat here, and it's probably like 65 degrees. I'm gonna have to take off my rebel attire here. So it has to be special. C3PO has to be, you have to come out swinging out of the gates in an already saturated market, and C3PO Return the Jedi would definitely do it. I think that would make most collectors pause and commit. Remember what I said? Vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars. So if Hot Toys is able to do it, absolutely, it's a day one pre-order. I will show my loyal and support to the Empire by day one pre-ordering C3PO. I don't know if we can use another R2. I don't know. I don't know if another R2 would benefit the community, because we've had two versions of R2. I love the droids. That's the thing. I did miss out on that last upgraded R2 with all the arms. I passed on him, and I regret it. I really do. I would want, if I'm going to do R2-D2, I would probably want the terminal. Reissue R2 with the bunker, where he gets electrocuted from the power socket. Just reissue him. And I know that he was included in the last version, but reissue him with like a diorama. Oh, a bunker, an Endor bunker diorama. Oh, we've already seen evidence that they're starting to dabble in dioramas. So I would say an R2. I would say an R2 with a bunker, add some little electrocution effects, and yeah. I am hoping, though. I really am hoping that they are going to release that Mandalorian diorama set from the safe house. I think it's great. I think it's a great opportunity for collectors. I love sets. I've always been an advocate for dioramas, and not so much. I've never been wooed by fancy bases, right? Especially in a DTOF setting where they end up if the lighting isn't right, they end up they tend to obscure the lighting and so forth. I guess with proper lighting and a DTOF, you can overcome that. But I've never been a fan of that. I like sets, and I think if you're collecting an army of Hot Toys, I think a larger, like a shelf, a module case, or just something that is a little bit more open helps benefit the characters that you're collecting from Hot Toys, bringing them to life. So I'm for that. So I can wish, right? That's what we do in the community. We speculate, we wish, we want. And I'm thinking an R2. I'm thinking an R2 with a bunker would be phenomenal. So we have C-3PO, we have R2. A Han Solo Endor. I know everybody, going back to Han, I would probably prefer a Bespin Han though. I would only want one Han in my collection, but beggars can't be choosers. If they made an Endor Han, I'd pick him up. I don't have a Han Solo in my collection. I ended up having the first one, the New Hope. Had it for a while and I sold it. I just, at that time, I was committed to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Han was trending really high in the secondary market. So I took it. I sold him. I have no regrets though. I didn't think it was a very good hit sculpt on that Han Solo New Hope. So I made a tidy little profit at the time, and no regrets. I have a few regrets on resales, but on selling, but not on that one. But a Bespin Han, I'd go gaga for. I would, I would do Han Solo for Endor and Bespin. I would, at this point, I would take any of them. I really would. We got Leia. We don't need any more Lukes. I know there are Luke Skywalker fans out there, and I know he's trending high. The problem is that when you keep bringing back Luke Skywalker, especially during that time frame, during that Return the Jedi time frame, that's a slot that can go to another character that can benefit from it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hot Toys decides to reissue him again. I would prefer not to, though. I'd prefer them to focus on something new. If you're going to do Luke Skywalker, focus on something else from the Star Wars line. But I get it. He's going for a lot in the secondary market, so it would only make sense that you would want to make another reissue of Luke Skywalker. What else from Return the Jedi? We have Han, C-3PO, a Chewie. Oh, a Chewbacca. Yeah, wouldn't that be swell? We've had, what, 2 versions of Chewbacca? We've had the Force Awakens Chewbacca. We've had the New Hope Chewbacca. Both versions, you can't please us in the community. Both versions come with their own set of problems, and collectors just bitch and moan about it and complain about it. I have the Force Awakens Chewbacca, and it's supposed to be one of the questionable sculpts in the fur, but they're both going high in the secondary market. So regardless if fans aren't happy with the Chewbaccas that we've gotten, people are hoarding it, plain and simple. Both Chewbaccas are going high in the secondary market, so regardless of what you think of them, they are. Oh, look what I found. Stormtrooper helmet. A new R&D version of Chewbacca, Return the Jedi style. He didn't change much. He just... Peter Mayhew, though. That's the thing, though. It's capturing Peter Mayhew's body, style, and structure, and by then he was already falling apart, so... the whole Chewbacca thing could definitely use a redesign. It really could. So, I don't know if I would pick up another Chewbacca. I don't. I would pick up an R2-D2. I'd pick up a C-3PO. I'd pick up a Han Solo Endor. I don't know if they released another Chewbacca Even if it's Return the Jedi, I don't know if I would get him. I've never been a big fan of Chewbacca. He's always been a placeholder character for me, in the same sense that a lot of collectors in the community feel that C-3PO is a placeholder character. They're like, he's not one of my favorite characters, but I gotta get him, and Sideshow sells him cheap, so boom, I moved on, I got the team. Especially if you're trying to build that New Hope team and you're trying to get the cockpit. You bought one of those fiberglass cockpits and you're trying to rebuild a team. You're gonna need a C-3PO. You only need one. I think Chewbacca falls in the same sense. I would say Chewbacca. You only need one Chewbacca. I would rather focus my attention on the bounty hunters and the stormtroopers, because there's so many different versions of the stormtrooper. What else from Return the Jedi? What else? Admiral Piet, right? He gets blown up on that Super Star Destroyer. That'd be cool. That'd be a nice addition, right? How about what's her name? The general, Mon Mothra? Is that her name? Why not? With like a holographic table? I don't know, that's reaching. But she is a character though that has been used a couple times, right? We saw her in Rogue One, and I know she plays a big part in those animated adventures. So I would say Mon Mothra. Yeah, I would say Mon Mothra. I'd get her, but she has to come with a set. Give us like a holographic set with Mon Mothra, and I'd be into that. I'd be into Mon Mothra. I think with Billy D, I think we pretend to love him. I really do. He's one of those characters like, oh, we need Billy D. And then when he's made, they're like, oh, well, Din Djarin, there's a chrome version of Din Djarin, so we have to go for, I think he's one of those characters that everybody wants, but isn't willing to commit. Where the hell am I going? That would be my thought on Billy D. I would love a general, oh goodness, I can't even think of his name. Oh man, Lando. General Lando. Where the hell am I going? Yeah, I would want a General Lando. Yeah, why not? I think it's this way. That would be one I'd want to. Hello. I have to be heading the right way. I've run into people, so I'm not lost. I don't know if a Lando would do it. A General Lando Calrissian. Yeah. I don't know. He's just one of those characters I don't think collectors would be able to commit, just because of the current Bespin version of Lando. I don't think people are committing to him. Who else? I think his sidekick in the Falcon has a better chance of being made. What's his name? Frog co-pilot. You know which one I'm talking about. Where he makes the run to the Death Star 2, and he speaks like, what do you mean the shields aren't down? What's his name? I'm sure I'm gonna end up putting it somewhere on the top of this video. I think he has a better. I think he has a better chance of being made before a General Lando gets made. Honestly, I really do. I just don't, and it has nothing to do with race or anything like that. So don't make it into that. I think it's the popularity of the character is what it is. It's just what it is, and the release. One of these characters is going to be released, going up against 40 plus. I think with this current generation of collectors that are swooned by the Mandalorian, I think they're going to focus more on the Mandalorian. So unless we see 88-year-old Lando show up on the Mando series, I don't think we're going to get that. What am I talking about here? About Ewoks. I've said Ewoks. I want the chief. Give us some Ewoks. Oh, you know which one? Oh, I can't believe I missed out on this one here. Ewok Village Princess Leia. Oh my goodness. How did I miss that one? I know better. Come on now, Danoby. Princess Leia. A lot of us in the community are going through a Leia kick. And I would say Princess, an Ewok Village Princess Leia with her beaded hair and all that stuff. Yes. I say yes to that. I would say that's how we're going to get another Princess Leia. So we have the speeder bike Leia, right? But an Ewok Village, ooh, a 2-pack, right? It's all about getting more of those Ewoks. So why not do it too? Why not? Oh, there you go. I look, Hot Toys hiring me for your marketing. So you already gave us speeder bike Wicket, right, with Leia. Give us Ewok Village Princess Leia with the chief. There you go, right? I say go hard. I say go hard on Return the Jedi. Absolutely. I would. I would. I ended up. I only wanted one Leia at the time. I think I had the best bin, and for some reason, I ended up I just started to buy them all. Right? I have all. There's only what, 3 versions of Leia. Now I don't have the New Hope Leia though. I passed on her. I thought she was very generic at the time, and at the time it was the MCU. Remember, at the time when Princess Leia from New Hope was released, I was going through the MCU's love and affection, so there was no way I could. Oh, what is that? A frog? Oh, what's some sketchiness here? Look at this. Look at this here. That's the trail there. I think, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm in touch with nature right now, right? I think the early attempts at Star Wars with Hot Toys was kind of blindsided because of the MCU. A lot of us couldn't invest the time, the energy, the money into a lot of those characters. Not when you're going up against the Civil War, right? You know, Black Panther. You have to put yourself into that time frame. You have to imagine what it was like back in 2015, 2016. We had just found out that Tom Holland was going to be Spider-Man in Civil War the first time. So we all were already managing our pennies to anticipate a Tom Holland Spider-Man. And Black Panther, the Winter Soldier, another Cap, which is, I think, the Civil War Captain America is probably the best version of Captain America in Hot Toys. That's when they did a lot of their major improvements with the fabric, and they introduced like a new body and so forth. So it was a tumultuous time for collecting Hot Toy figures, because you had to set your priorities. Plus, we were slowly being introduced into the whole DCEU, and I didn't want to miss out on that. I missed out on the Batman v Superman figures, so we were being bombarded with DC characters, with the whole DC line, and at that time, I remember people were making fun of like Yoda, the Empire Strikes Back Yoda that sat on Sideshow's shelf stock for a while. So I think it's cool. I think this new renaissance of Star Wars of fandom is cool. I really do. I just don't trust it, because I don't know how long it's going to last, because throughout Hot Toys' short history, they've attempted to bring Star Wars back. You know, they're trying to make Star Wars a thing. And look at this view. They try to make Star Wars a thing, and the collectors just don't step up to the plate. And I think that's been one of my biggest arguments, is that you have all of these Mandalorian characters. You have these expensive deluxe sets. I mean, we're not dealing with $250 figures here. We're dealing with like $500 plus tax and shipping. It's absurd. It's very, very absurd. And I just don't think a lot of the hot toy Star Wars collectors are going to be able to step up to the plate when they start getting multiple sideshow notifications back to back. We're talking, when I mean back to back, I'm talking like within a week and such. Holy, what the hell am I? So we haven't, the storm has slowly started to creep in on us at the time. This is July the 26th. We haven't been hit yet. We're starting to. We got Mysterio that dropped. We had the Corsican card. And a lot of us haven't, at least me, I'm speaking as a U.S. Hot Toys collector, we haven't, I haven't gotten my notifications yet. And it's those notifications that will test the honor and the valor of a Hot Toys collector, right? Meaning when you get the notification, are you going to punk out and ask for an extension, or worse, cancel, because the delays are so atrocious that you know about the sideshow loophole, that, oh cool, it's been delayed, so I can get my non-refundable deposit back. I strongly think that those deluxe packs, those deluxe Mandalorian packs, like the 2-pack Boba Fett's and the Blurg, and the Boba with the throne, with the new paint version, I think all of those $400 to $500 packs are going to be released on time. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if they're released early. Seriously. Just to, just for consumer confidence. My prediction is, according to my Storm Tracker 3000, it's going to be this holiday season. This holiday season will determine the validity, is that the word? Is that a word? The honor system of the Hot Toys Star Wars community, right? I'm not questioning the DC Hot Toys community. I'm not questioning the Marvel Hot Toys community, because up until recently, it's really when they started to jump ship, and I think a lot of that was because of Endgame and the delays and the movies. I mean, Endgame wasn't even one of my favorite films. So, but up until Endgame, most MCU collectors, they committed. They committed to their purchase. So I would say this holiday season, when they start to drop, I think that Blurg is going to come in early. I think that nasty little Vital Pop Blurg Deluxe set is going to come in early, and it's gonna really test. It's gonna really test the waters of the collector community. So I'd say the holiday season. I would say the holiday season when they start to drop, and this is where I lead into my Hot Toys Star Wars crash theory, where I think the collectors aren't going to be able to step up, and they'll just start canceling, and we're going to end up with a lot of dead stock, which will send the wrong signal to Hot Toys, and they're like, well, these collectors are kids. They're, holy smack, what the? It's missing a step here. Ooh, shoot. Where the collectors aren't going to step up, and they're like, you know what, we're not going to do this anymore. You guys suck. We're not going to make any more Star Wars schlock because you aren't stepping up to the plate. But have no fear. Anytime Hot Toys is in trouble, they always have Iron Man. So if they end up getting screwed by empty promised pre-orders from the Star Wars community, you can expect to see more neon, fantastic, whimsical neon tech suits, and the heavily rumored Hulkbuster neon tech, which was teased, well, which was leaked to me. Take that with a grain of salt, but they do have the Hulkbuster mold. They spent a fortune on that. It was before the pandemic. That's what it was. I was teased on the Neon Tech Hulkbuster before the pandemic, and that really added a wrench to the works. So I wouldn't rule that out. Maybe down the road we'll get it, but you heard it here first. I would not rule it past that we're gonna get a Neon Tech Hulkbuster. It makes sense. And if it wasn't for 2020, I'm pretty sure we'd have one already in pre-order status by now. And the same, it's exact same rumor chain that I used that told me about the diecast Mark I that was supposed to have been announced early in this year, and then it was finally announced for a 2-year delivery. So it's just a lot of production delays, just the company falling behind. So I would not rule out the Neon Tech, but again, take that with a grain of salt on the Neon Tech Hulkbuster. But I wouldn't be surprised, like, if they announced it, like, yeah, I was expecting that last year, but 2020 happened. So that'd be about it. That's cool. So I think, is that it? Is that it on my, I think this is it on my wish list for Return the Jedi, right? What else do I got? So C-3PO, R2, a Village Leia, a General Lando, General Solo, right? Wasn't he a General too? With the Endor fatigues, more Ewoks, Jabba the Hutt. Let's go back to Jabba. I think we're going to be getting a Jabba pretty soon. I think, this is my theory, right? This is me speculating on the Book of Boba. Jon Favreau grew up with Return of the Jedi, as I did, and he loves a lot of the puppetry work that happened. Like, he's used several of the droids from Jabba's palace in The Mandalorian. We've already seen that, right? We already saw, like, the bartender 99 or 8099. It's the one that turns R2 into a bartender. We have a use for you on the Master Sail Barge. So that was so he's used a lot of the droids, and there was like one of the walk-ins. He's used Salacious Crumb. So my theory is that we're going to see the Hutts. I think the Hutts are a prominent family on Tatooine, and there's going to be consequences. Can't even say the word. There's going to be consequences with Jabba's death and the void of power, because he was a crime boss, right? And I think Bib Fortuna was probably doing a piss poor job, and that's why he got shot. He was always an idiot anyway. I would like to have a Bib Fortuna. The problem with Bib Fortuna, and the thing that's going to annoy me, is that I'm pretty sure we're going to get a fat version of Bib Fortuna, and I'm not going to buy it. I don't want that. I don't want the fat version of Bib Fortuna. I would want a Return of the Jedi Bib Fortuna, where he was an idiot and he's harassing R2 at the entrance of the palace, right? It's kind of violating him and shit. That's the version I would want. So that one I would really love that. But I know we're gonna get, see, that's the problem. I know we're on the Mandalorian kick, and I know we're gonna get a fat version of Bib Fortuna, because so if it looks like I'm out of breath, it's because I'm running back to the bus, because while I was in deep thought, I looked at my watch and realized, holy shit, I got 30 minutes to get back to the shuttle without being left out here. What was I talking about? Yes, so I was talking about Fat Boba, wasn't I? I mean, not Fat Boba, Bib Fortuna. My theory is that we're gonna get more of the Hutts and the whole crime lord. I'm pretty positive we're gonna get. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get more of the Hutts being shown in the Book of Boba, and I'm thinking that one of the family members from the Hutts is probably gonna be made by Hot Toys. So I'm thinking, if that were to happen and that were to sell, maybe we may get a Return of the Jedi Jabba the Hutt. But I don't think that Hot Toys has confidence enough in actually making a Jabba the Hutt, an actual 1/6 scale Jabba the Hutt. But if somebody from the family is shown from the Hutts on Tatooine, I'm thinking that specific character will most likely be made by Hot Toys just because they're on this Mandalorian bandwagon. In the same sense that everybody was like perplexed that they made the Mandalorian speeder bike first before an Endor version of the speeder bike, which is exactly the exact same model and spec and everything. So that's my theory on that. And we'll probably get more. I want them to make more aliens. I want them to make more of the creatures from the palace, and we may see that. Just depends if we in the community we can support it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole Hot Toys Star Wars. Well, Return of the Jedi edition anyway. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'm gonna try to run down to the shuttle so that I don't get stuck on the farthest moon of Endor. I can't believe I made it. Look at these things. Look at that, look at that. That is insane. Oh, I almost made it. I almost missed the shuttle. See ya.